What if large-scale social data was available to everyone and not just major web companies? In today's digital economy, data isn't just a byproduct, it's actually a currency. In today's video, I'm going to cover a project on Bittensor that is making this social data available to everyone and not just the major web companies. So hit that like button and let's jump into it. Alright, today we're going to jump into a brand new project on Bittensor. The project is called Data Universe. Let's take a look at it here. Data Universe is the world's largest social media data flow that's in your hands. And a Data Universe is your gateway to 55 billion rows of structured, high-fidelity social media data from X, Reddit, and YouTube with up to 80 million new rows added every single day. So this is a social media platform scrubber, basically. What it does is you can actually take and you can actually pull information from these social media sites, and it'll actually pull and compile all the data for you, and you can actually select a date range for that data. So if you're looking for a specific data that's come out, during a certain period of time, like last week, if you want to know information about what's going on with the government shutdown, it'll actually scrub all the data on these social media sites and pull a database for you, and it'll actually compile all that information for you and give it to you in a simplified format. So having this rich information from all the different social media platforms gives you an edge to identify trends, and that's really critical for people who are doing analytics for different subsets of databases out there. So if your business is looking for the next new trend, it'll help you understand your customers' sentiment. It'll also give you an anticipation of where the market is shifting towards. Different markets, of course, operate on different signals. So what's resonating in gaming might not be the same thing that's, resonating in consumer goods. So, for instance, what's trending on X may not be trending on YouTube and so on. What's trending on one platform may not be trending on the other one at all. That's why it's good to have access to high-fidelity, large-scale social data across different platforms, and that's so critical for information. So Data Universe has a lot of unique features. Basically, it's the world's largest open-access social media data stream with over 55 billion rows of structured data from platforms like X, YouTube, Reddit, and so on, and up to 80 million new rows of data added daily. So you're no longer working with partial slices, you're working with the full conversation. It gives you precise targeting to look up this information. You can look it up with keywords or hashtags or labels. You can enter pretty much any phrase in their data set, and it'll pull all that information from the social media sites for you. And it exports it in a simple-to-use CSV file or Parquet. And it gives you the ability to scale from just a few signals to multi-platform data sets built for AI workflows. So let's dive into the token a little bit here. We'll cover that real quick, and then I'll show you how the site works. So the Data Universe token, or SN13, this is subnet 13 on the Bittensor network, currently at $2.91. Its market cap is just under 10 million currently. If you look at the 3-month chart here, back in August it was over $6, and it's had a pullback now, and it's just under $3 right now. So it's at its lowest point really over the last several months. So maybe a good time to pick up some of this if you're interested in picking up some of the SN13 token. But remember, it is a lower market cap, so it's higher risk, so keep that in mind. But with it being at under $3 right now, it might be in a good buying zone, depending on what's going to happen, of course, with the market. But the technology that they're using is very unique and unlike any of the other subnets out there, or really any other crypto project. So Data Universe has partnerships that they're building. Behind the scenes, Data Universe powers workflow for marketing teams, tuning into audience conversations. They're basically using this to forecast analysts that are correlating social media chatter with market moves, and developers training with AI for up to the date, or up to the minute really, human context. And the platform actually shows real-world use case by diverse teams across different brand innovation, and they're actually predicting, modeling, and the partnerships with Data Universe speak to the flexibility and real-world value of their platform. So if you go to their website, you can actually sign up for an account, and anyone can use this. You can create a new scraping task, and these scraping tasks, basically they pull information from these sites like Reddit, X, and YouTube, and they'll pull this information for you and scrape the data from these social media sites and give it to you in that format that I talked about earlier. And it actually is pretty quick. It only takes a few minutes for it to do that, and it'll pull the report of all this data, and then it'll send you an email when it's ready for you, and you can just go back on their website and click on it and get the file and open it up. So I'll do a quick demonstration here of how to use Gravity to scrape the data and download the data set. The platform is called Gravity, and like I said, you just launch a data collection on here, so you can You can actually name your data collection tasks, so you can do politics and elections or whatever you want, really. I did government shutdown. I just typed in government shutdown in here. And October, let's do like October 1st through November 8th. That's when I'm recording this video. And then you can go to X and you can actually type in a keyword like government shutdown for your keywords, or you can do a hashtag, but we'll do government shutdown as an example, and it'll pull all this information from X. And if you go to YouTube, you can put in a specific channel that you want to scrub this information from, but I'm just going to do X in this as an example. And then after you have your keyword entered in here, you click add, and then you can launch the data collection, and then it's going to go ahead and it's going to pull the data for you, and then it'll give you that report once it's complete. So it says your task has been created, and it's going to go into the task here and show you how it's working on it, and it's going to show you the progress here. Right now it's running, and then when this is complete, it'll actually pull the information for you, and it's going to take a little bit to run, of course, but it doesn't take too long. And then over here on the left, your tasks will be over here, and you can click on your task, and it'll actually show your different tasks on here. So right now it's loading the tasks. I did a government shutdown task that's complete, so we can click on this just to show you as an example of what this report is going to be. And then you can actually click on here to download this task, and you can actually download it in CSV format. So it's pulling up this CSV file here, and you can actually go in here and you can actually pull up these posts as an example, and you can actually go ahead and pull up these posts if you want. It gives you all the different URLs. There was like 55 different posts about the government shutdown, and you can actually just copy this and paste it into your X page, and it'll pull it up for you. So you can see over the right here the post distribution over time. Basically on Halloween here, October 31st, it had the most posts. There was 10 different posts about the government shutdown that it scrubbed from X as just an example. And there's probably many other posts about the government shutdown, but it depends on what you put in for your keywords as for the information that it'll pull from that. So I want to demonstrate some other features of Data Universe's website here. They do have a marketplace that you can go on, and they have the most popular data sets that people pulled on here. You can actually look at the most popular ones, and you can actually click on any of these and it'll pull up these different data sets for you. Like this one here, this is an NVIDIA AI chips earnings and sentiment report. So you can pull up this report and look at it, or you can pull up the iPhone 17 launch and so on. The New York City mayoral election, that was a real popular one recently. So there's different subsets of data on here that you can actually pull up that other people have already scrubbed for you. If you're looking for a really popular one, you'll probably find it in the marketplace. So there's a lot of different potential use cases of this website here, and the project is actually called Macrocosmos or Data Universe. They kind of have two different names. Data Universe is the token, but the original project name was Macrocosmos. But what you can do with the potential use cases of this, for example, for different brands, you can actually monitor the sentiment and actually monitor the hashtags of the brand. So if you have a company brand, you can actually pull up and see how your product or certain information about your brand is trending on different social media sites like YouTube and X. And for financial analysts, for example, you can correlate social chatter and different keywords and asset movements on market sentiment, so if you can see if certain investments are trending and get ahead of that. And for another example, for AI developers, you can actually train different conversational models that are enriched with live human context. And for product teams, you can actually spot emerging technologies and topics, and you can get ahead of the game with that and come out with new products based off of stuff that is trending. And you can actually scrub the social media data that's accessible with their platform and get ahead of the game with these different trends out there that are on social media, and they change daily and weekly, so you can get ahead of the game with this and actually find out what's trending on these social media sites and be ahead of the game with this technology. So definitely check out Subnet 13. It's a really interesting project. Data Universe is doing a unique thing out there that none of the other subnet projects are doing. None of the other crypto projects or Web3 projects either. It's a brand new technology that they have that's usually available only, at least it's brand new for the average user out there. This information is available to big social media companies out there like Meta and so on, of course, but it's not available to the average user until now with this platform. But go ahead and check out Data Universe, guys. I'll leave the link for their website in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a quick like for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you on the next video.